Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and today in our sixth grade math class, we're going to go to Math Journal, page 41, and do the math boxes. So I would like for you to do the math boxes. I'm going to put it on pause, or you will put it on pause, and then check the answers that I will have in this video. So at this time, if you are watching this video, put it on pause and do the math boxes. All right, let's go over the answers to the math boxes. The first math box says 600,000 divided by 5,000. When you have numbers separated with a slash, that's what that means. Now, there are two other ways that you can write this. One is to put the first number in the division box. I would like for everyone to do this on their papers. 600,000 divided by 5,000. Now, I have unnecessary the zeros right here, and I can mark them out and balance how many I mark off on each side, and it's an easier division problem. So I have 3 zeros here and 3 there. So now my problem is 600 divided by 5, a much easier problem to do. How many 5s are in a 6? 1. Subtract. Bring down. How many 5s are in a 10? 2. That's 10. Subtract. I have one more number to bring down. How many 5s are in a 0? 0. 0. So the answer is 120. I hope you all have that down. And at this time, make sure you show this piece right here on your paper. Now let's go to math box number 2. In math box number 2, I think you're hearing some of the video from this. Okay, now that is stopped. Math box number 2. Which of the following numbers are divisible by 4? Which numbers will 4 divide? 28 divided by 4 is 7. That one is divisible by 4. 444 divided by 4 is 111. No remainder. 160 divided by 4 is 40 with no remainder. Now this one, 114 divided by 4. 4 will go into 11 2 times. Subtract. Bring down. 4 goes into 34, 8. But look, I have a remainder. So 114 is not divisible by 4. I'm sure that you have those answers correct. If not, fix them on your paper at this time. Okay. Math box number 3. Plot and label the opposite of each. First, I'm going to write the opposite of each number below it. So the opposite of -2, +2, and I will graph that one. The opposite of 1/2, -1/2, and I will graph that. The opposite of 1 1/2, -1 1/2. Now I'm going to graph those problems. It would be a shame if I have to say students' names on this video because you're making a bad choice, and I will email it to your parents. So please make sure we are making good choices. That's something I can and have done before. Now, the opposite of -2 is +2. That's real easy. Put a dot on the +2. The opposite of 1/2 is -1/2. Wow, we got to figure out where that would be. Between a 0 and a -2 is -1. And between 0 and -1, that is where you would locate -1/2. Put a dot there. And a -1 1/2. -1 1/2 is in between -1 and -2. Put a dot right there, and that is -1 1/2. You should have 3 dots on your number line now. In math box number 4, it says place each of the following numbers in the correct section of the Venn diagram. in the Venn diagram, they have an intersection right here. If you have a number that can be divided by 2 and 3, you're going to put it in the middle part right here, the part that I've highlighted yellow. Okay, so let's look at each number. Will 2 divide 14? Yes. Will 3 divide 14? No. So 14 just goes in the 2 circle. 21. Will 2 divide 21? No. Will 3 divide 21? Yes. 21 goes in the 3 circle. 6. Will 2 divide 6? Yes. Will 3 divide 6? Yes. It goes in the intersecting circle, the part that I highlighted yellow. 12. Will 2 divide 12? Yes. Will 3 divide 12? Yes. It goes in the yellow circle. 15. Will 2 divide 15? No. Does 3 divide 15? Yes. Any questions on how to do these problems? All right, now we're going to look at number 5. It says a company claimed that t-shirt sales doubled. Explain why this graph might persuade people to believe them. Well, bar 2 is twice the size of bar 1, right? That's why they might believe. So bar 2 is twice the size or doubled. That's why they might believe it. But is it doubled? No, it is not. No, comma, it is not doubled. Why? Because 30 times 2 equals 60. Is that second bar at 60? No, it is not. Okay? And the reason it's deceiving, did it start at 0? No, it started at 20. Just think, if we, that would be 10, and this would be 0. If we started it like this, and if the bars went all the way down, is it doubled now? No, this would not be doubled, because if it started at 0, see how it looks different if you start at 0 versus starting at 20? Big difference. Janine, we're on math box number 6, had a homework assignment with 36 problems in it. She finished 4/9 of the problems after school. She finished another 1/3 of the problems after dinner. What fraction of the problems does she still have to complete before class? Well, we're going to do 4/9 plus 1/3. Now, you should have learned this before you came to 6th grade. How do you add fractions? What do you have to have before you can add the fractions? Esther? Right. And what's going to be the common denominator, Luca, between a 9 and a 3? 9. You got this least common one. A lot of kids will say 18. 18 works, but 9 is the best. Okay, that one stays 4/9. 3 times 3 is 9. 1 times 3 is 3. 4/9 plus 3/9 is 7/9. Now the question is, what fraction of the problems does she still have to complete? Well, 9/9 is the same thing as the whole. 9/9 minus 7/9 gives you the answer 2/9. Any questions on how to do the math boxes for today? Yes. You find the least common multiple. I'll go over a lesson on how to do that later on in the year, okay? We're going to review fractions, I think, starting next week or the week after. So we'll be going over that. All right. Now let's go on to the next page of our lesson, and that is going to be page 42. So let's go to page 42. Finding fractions between fractions is this lesson. We have here two maps, and both maps contain Birmingham and Bessemer. Here we have Birmingham and Bessemer there, okay? This map, they're much closer than on this one. Why would that be? Why are they closer on this map than on this one? Yes, it's zoomed in. This one is zoomed in. This one is not. Okay, we're going to probably use the zoomed in one because it's easier to read. Okay, now, earlier, Mrs. Robertson didn't see the key on this one. I only saw the key on that one. And, you know, my eyes don't always see everything as clearly, and it was harder to see that one for me at my eyes. Here is the key for this one. And here is the key for this one. From here to here on this map is 10 miles, okay? So I just took a little piece of paper. That's 10 miles, okay? Now, from Birmingham to Bessemer is how far? Well, this is 10. It's more than 10, isn't it? How many? We can have different answers. I want you all to put down an answer of how far you think it is from Birmingham to Bessemer. I'm going to say that it is going to be about 13. Did anyone else put 13? Did any of you have 12? 12 is another one. I was thinking, do I want to put down 12 or do I want to put down 13? So, okay. Now let's go on to the next question. Halfway from Birmingham to Bessemer. Okay, if you were going halfway, it's probably going to be about here. How far would you say that is? Write it down. What's halfway? I'm going to put 6 miles. 6 or 7. How many of you put down 7 for that one? Did anyone put down 7? And how many of you put down 6? Did anyone have 8? Okay. Well, good. Let's go on then to the next problem that we have here. Half of halfway from Birmingham. So what would be half of this? So this is halfway. Let's say from here to here. What's halfway between there? What would halfway would be? What's half of 6? 3. If somebody said 8 miles, half of 8 miles, you might say 4 miles. Even if somebody said, I would even take 5 miles. So if you had 3, 6, 4, or 5, that would be right. Any questions? For this activity, it's much easier to do this map than this one, isn't it? They're just so close, it'd be hard to tell. Now we're going to go to the next part, question number 2. One way to find fractions between two fractions is to imagine zooming in on the number line. Have you done zooming in before in your other classes in everyday math? No, so this is your first year for zooming in? Okay. For example, you can zoom in between 2/3 and 3/3. 3/3 is the same thing as 1, isn't it? To find fractions between them. So between 2/3 and 3/3, they made it bigger. And in this one, they've gone to 9ths. Okay? 2/3, 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. So that is 6/9. And 3/3, oh, right there is 6/9. 3/3 is 9/9. What's in between 6/9 and 9/9? What's a fraction that's in between? 7/9. Good answer. And 8/9. I guess you could just put a 7 on that and an 8 on top of that blank because it's got the, so 7/9 and 8/9. Any questions? Then they zoomed it again. And this time We have 8/9 and 9/9, but they found another denominator, and this time we're using 36. All right, 8/9 is how many 36s? Well, 9 times 4 is 36, and 8 times 4 is 32. So put a 32 over that one. And this one's already done for us. 9 over 9 is 36 over 36. Now, this is pretty easy. We have to find the numbers that are in between 32 and 36. What's the next one going to be? 33, 36. 34, 36. And 35, 36. Any questions? Let's turn the page and go to the next one. Question number 3. In question number 3, they want us to look at the answers we have in problem number 2. Okay, so now I've got, there's problem number 2. So you can see that as we answer question number 3. Here we go. Find a fraction between 35, 36 and 36, 36. Well, we're going to have to zoom out again. So let's just do that on your other page. Zoom out. What's 36 doubled? Yes. Yep. 72. So we're going to create two fractions that have a denominator of 72. 36 times 2 is 72. So 35 times 2 is 70. And this one's going to be 72 on top of 72. What number is in between 70 seconds and 72 seconds? 70 seconds. 71. So the answer to A is 71 70-seconds. Draw a picture to show how you can zoom in. Kids, I have it on the previous page. I'm going to put C page 42 because I drew my drawing on page 42. Did you draw the drawing on page 42?
Yeah.
If not, do so right now, or you could redraw the whole thing down there, but it just is easier to do it there. Are we ready to go on to number 4? Okay, I'm going to slide it up. Fill in the missing labels on the number line. Find, plot, and label a fraction in the highlighted section of the number line. First, we have to figure out what they're going by. And in this problem here, it looks like we're going by between those problems. Looks like we're going by fifths. Yeah. So this is 5/5. And 2 is what? 10 over 5. Because 10 over 5 equals 2, right? 5 over 5 equals 1. What comes after 5/5? 6/5, 7/5, 8/5, 9/5. Any questions? Then it says, find a fraction in the highlighted section. Okay, this is the highlighted section right there. So what we're going to have to do is find another denominator for the 5. What's 5 doubled? 10. So we're going to change them to 10. I have found that it's just easy to double. That's one of the easiest ways to do it. 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 2 is 16. 5 times 2 is 10. 9 times 2 is 18. Do you see how I get the top numbers? Everyone should be writing. What's in between 16/18 and 18, or 16 tenths and 18 tenths?
17.
17 tenths. So that's an answer that we can put for in the shaded area. Any questions? Now let's do question number 5. Fill in the missing labels on the number line. Find, plot, and label a fraction in the highlighted section of the missing number line. Okay, on this number line, well, 8s, 19 eighths, 20 eighths, 21 eighths, 22 eighths, and 23 eighths. Now we have to find a number to put in between 20 and 21 eighths. Okay, what's a denominator I could use here that's bigger than an 8? Yes. 16. Excellent. I like that. 16. So we're going to change them to 16s, and then we can get one in between. 8 times 2 is 16. 20 times 2 is 40. 8 times 2 is 16. 21 times 2 is 42. Now, what's a fraction that's in between 40 sixteenths and 42 sixteenths? Yes. 41 sixteenths. Any questions? Let's do the last problem here on this page. On this one, write 3 or more fractions between 22 eighths and 23 eighths. Okay. Well, I'm just going to branch off here. What's 8 doubled? 16. So that's going to be a 16, and this one's going to be a 16. That'll be 44 sixteenths and 46 sixteenths. What's in between a 44 and a 46? Yes. 45. 45 sixteenths. That's one of them. But they want 3 of them. So we have 45 sixteenths. Now we're going to zoom in again. What is 16 doubled? Yes. 32. 32. All right, 16 times 2 is 32. 44 times 2 is 88. Oh, thank you for letting me know. 46 doubled is what? 92. Okay, there are a lot of numbers. What's in between an 88 and a 92? You only need 2 more, so give me some of them. What's in between an 88 and a 92? Well, we could say 89 over 32, right?
And 91.
Yes, we could use 90, 91. Yeah, any of those we could use. We only need another one. So you could do 90 over 32 or 91 over 32. Any questions on what we just did here? All right. Then, what you're going to do for homework tonight will be your home links 112. And in Mrs. Robertson's room, I'm giving you your home links book today. I now have home links for everyone. But while I'm passing them out, you can look at the home links page. If you are not in my class and you're watching this video, you can get a piece of paper and start doing this. It's home links 112. I want you to do 1 to 6. Also in my class, if you have your homework from yesterday, let's get it out. It's the worksheet, and we will go over that in just a little bit. Have a good day.